Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Extremely grateful for accommodating this Sunday, morning class. I'm so sorry that the children's session had to get cancelled. I'm so sorry, but again, thank you so much for the opportunity to speak. So today we'll try to complete Sri Madhurashtakam. Today is session 5, where we will do verses 6, 7, and 8. Sri Madhurashtakam, written by Sri Vallabhacharya. Text 6. Gunja Madhura, Mala Madhura, Yamuna Madhura, Vichi Madhura, Shalilam Madhuram, Kamalam Madhuram, Madhuradhipate, Akhilam Madhuram. His gunja berry necklace is sweet. His flower garland is sweet. His Yamuna river is sweet. His ripples are sweet. His water is sweet. His lotuses are sweet. Everything is sweet about the emperor of sweetness. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swaminiti Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swaminiti Namine Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayane Gora Katha Dhamadaya Nagara Gramatarine Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangur langayate girim yatkripathamaham vande Shri Gurung Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. So, in this 6th verse, very beautifully, the two very sweet necklaces of Krishna, the flower garlands of Krishna, are being described. Gunja Madhura. Gunja is a kind of a berry. It's a kind of a berry which is reddish in color, very small, very reddish in color, and they are dried out, and the seeds are made into, mala. Krishna loves to wear that. It looks almost like, how we wear red crystal malas, like that. There are strands and strands of this particular gunja berry, and Krishna wears it like a nice 3-4 rows, like a chained necklace. That's what Krishna wears. That's how Krishna wears it. So that's why it is said Gunja Madhura. Then, Vallabhacharya is describing Mala Madhura. Now, he already described the Gunja Mala of Krishna. That is also called Gunja Mala. Then Mala Madhura. Mala Madhura refers here to the Vaijayanti flower garland that Krishna wears. Now, we all know that Krishna always loves to wear garlands that are made out of fresh forest flowers. So, Krishna, and out of the fresh forest flowers, he loves Vaijayanti Mala. Now, there's no flower called as Vaijayanti. This was a clarification that was offered to us by Srila Radharaman Maharaj, and it was a very big revelation. Before, we used to actually read that Krishna wears the Vaijayanti Mala, and we used to feel, I used to think that there must be a flower which is called as Vaijayanti. But actually, Vaijayanti Mala refers to a combination of 5 different flowers. The 5 different flowers are Kund. Kund is a kind of a white color flower. It's very, very fragrant, exceptionally fragrant flower. It's called Kund. Then there is Mandar. Mandar flower. Mandar is orangish in color. Again, exceptionally fragrant flower, mandar. Then, of course, there's parijat. So, kund, mandar, parijat, kamal, which is lotus, and the last one is tulasi. Tulasi manjaris, the flowers from the tulasi, which is the tulasi manjari. So these five comprise the Vaijayanti garland. The Vaijayanti mala, whenever we say, we must understand that it is a combination of these five different flowers. So again, it's kund, mandar, tulasi, kamal, and parijat. So these are the five different flowers in the Vaijayanti mala. Now, just describing about it, just talking about the five different flowers in the Vaijayanti mala of Krishna, that itself is making us feel so sweet, isn't it? So that imagine, Krishna, when he wears that garland, it's like a embodiment of sweetness is traveling by. Wherever Krishna goes, he carries these exceptionally fragrant flowers which adorn his body, and he traverses like that. So Krishna leaves a very, very beautiful scent. Like the coming of Krishna is always announced because the wind which carries the fresh aroma of these flowers, they carry ahead, they blow ahead, and they inform all the devotees that Krishna's on his way. Get ready, get ready. So then all the devotees get ready to welcome Krishna. That's how beautifully everything works in the spiritual world. So Gunja Madhura, Mala Madhura, Yamuna Madhura, Vichi Madhura, Shalilam Madhuram. Now all of these refer to the Yamuna River or in connection to the Yamuna River. Even Kamalam Madhuram, they all refer to in connection to Mother Jamuna. We can think like that, but they can also refer to Krishna himself. Let's try to understand that, how it could be. Yamuna Madhura, that is, of course, to Mother Yamuna, that she's, so sweet, that the river Yamuna is so sweet. Why she's so sweet? Because of her complete disposition towards Krishna, her complete surrender to Krishna, her eagerness to serve Krishna under all circumstances, even from the day one when Krishna was crossing the Jamuna from Mathura and coming into Gokul. At that time itself, Mother Jamuna was the one who actually touched the lotus feet of Krishna and, washed his lotus feet, welcoming him. That was the eagerness with which Mother Yamuna always serves Krishna. She's always looking for opportunities to make Krishna's pastimes more sweeter. So therefore, she is the personification of sweetness. So, Yamuna Madhura. Then it is said, Yamuna Madhura, then it is saying that Vichi Madhura. Vichi means the ripples. Ripples means the little waves, which, it's not like really waves like we have in the ocean, but it is, the wind when it blows over the Yamuna, it causes it to gently go rippled like that. So that is the ripples of, Jamuna. And why is that very sweet? Why are the ripples considered to be very sweet? Because when Krishna and the gopis or the gopas, when Krishna is with the gopis, or at different time of the day when Krishna is frolicking in the waters with the gopas, at that time, a fresh gush of wind of air comes and, creates some ripples and touches different parts of Krishna's body. And then Krishna just feels so nice about it. So therefore, the ripples are also considered to be so sweet that they are enhancing the pastimes of Krishna by wetting Krishna's body in different places. So it is enhancing the pastimes of Krishna, enhancing the sweetness of Krishna's pastimes. So therefore, the ripples of the Jamuna river are also very, very sweet. So Vichi Madhura, Shalilam Madhuram. Shalilam means the water itself of the Jamuna is very, very sweet. Sometimes we tend to feel that generally, Jamuna water, it is said that it is salty. It has a little bit of a salt taste. But if you drink the water in Jamuna, in Vrindavan area, not in Delhi Jamuna, but in Vrindavan Jamuna, you will find a distinct taste difference, that it has a sweet taste. Why is it sweet? Because it has washed the sweet lotus feet of Krishna. It has washed the sweet lotus bodies of Krishna and his devotees. That is why the waters of the Jamuna is so sweet. So, Shalilam Madhuram. Kamalam Madhuram. Kamalam means lotus. The lotuses that blossom in the waters of the Jamuna, they are also very, very sweet. Why are they considered to be sweet? Because one time what happened is, Krishna and the gopis, they were playing, they were having water pastimes with each other in the waters of the Jamuna. And, Krishna, he had his team, he was alone on one side. And then there was Radharani on the other side with some of her Sakhis. And what the other gopis, other Sakhis, what they did is that the blue lotuses, they surrounded Krishna with the blue lotuses. And all of the pink lotuses, they surrounded Srimati Radharani with all the pink lotuses. And then the gopis started taking the lotuses up one by one, lifting it from the water of the Jamuna. So the lotuses get filled with the water of the Jamuna. And then they started pouring on both their lordships, on the divine couple. They were raining lotus waters of the Jamuna on top of the divine couple. So they were getting lotus Abhishek bath. It was so beautiful darshan that, all the gopis were just, imagine that Krishna, so beautiful, he's surrounded with blue lotuses. Radharani is so magnanimously beautiful. She's surrounded with pink lotuses. The gopis are picking up lotuses, and from behind they're just pouring water on top of their head and just bathing them with the lotus waters. Then the gopis, once they bathe their lordships like this, Radharani feels very shy. She says, okay, now stop, now stop. Then Krishna is in the mood of getting into frolicking with the gopis and, wants to do something, extra playful with them. So then he picks up all the lotuses in two hands and then he fills water in them and then he just splashes all the water, with the lotuses, filled with water. He just splashes on the gopis. And there's like waterfall of, Jamuna's water that falls on all the gopis. Then the gopis are also no less. They also pick up all their lotuses and all of them together, they just shower Krishna with those lotuses. So like this, there is always lotus fight going on. And there's, these beautiful sweet pastimes that occur in the waters of the Jamuna. So therefore, this, Jamuna is considered to be so sweet because it is the abode of sweet nectarian pastimes. Now, these few things were in connection to the river Jamuna itself. Now, we can also see how the words that we see about Vichi, which is ripples, about Shalilam, about Kamalam, how can these also relate to the personification of Krishna? So on Krishna's body itself, we can see there are ripples. Especially there are, ripples in two distinct parts of Krishna's body. One is around Krishna's neck. Krishna has a slender, thin neck, which has three different, distinct lines, like that of a conch shell. Like those are like ripples that are formed there. So it makes Krishna's neck look, superbly beautiful, very, very attractive. The way the ripples are there around Krishna's neck, it makes it so captivating. Everyone is just so captivated just looking at that beautiful neck of Krishna, the ripples that form around the neck of Krishna like a conch shell. So that is the one body part, the first body part where we can see Krishna's ripples on his body. The second one is around just below his navel. And, just below his navel and just above his navel, the ripples are formed around his waistline like that. So that makes Krishna's waist look so gorgeous. The ripples look so gorgeous on the, that beautiful slender waist of Krishna. And then the waist of Krishna just, like this, it just expands like that. It becomes, his broad shoulders, but his waist is as thin as a lion's waist. It can even put to shame, the lion is supposed to have a very slender and a thin waist, but Krishna's waist can put to shame even a lion. So that's how beautifully designed Krishna's waist is, and the ripples that form around his waist and around his navel. That is very, very captivating. So these are some points that we can meditate on when we sing this particular verse about Vichi, which is ripples on the personality of Krishna. Then, of course, the Kamala, the lotuses, also we know that how every bodily limb of Krishna is compared to that of a lotus. Krishna's lotus eyes, lotus face, lotus mouth, lotus hands, lotus feet, lotus navel, everything about Krishna is compared to the lotus. There are reasons for this, that the lotus is actually, it grows in filthy area, but then it is untouched by the waters. It grows above the water. So no water, even if you drop water on the lotus flower, it immediately slides down. So that's how the acharyas explain that Krishna is like the lotus, because although Krishna appears in this filthy material world, Krishna is untouched by the material qualities. He's completely transcendental. He is transcendental to all of these materials, situations. So that is why Krishna is compared to the lotus, and the lotus is supposed to be the most delicate, the most beautiful flower of all the flowers. It's supposed to be the most delicate, very, very subtle fragrance in the lotus. So that is why also that Krishna is such a rare beauty. So therefore he's compared to the lotus as well. So here we see how the connection is made by Sri Vallabhacharya between the personality of Krishna and Krishna's dear devotee, Mother Jamuna. So we can understand it in this way, this particular verse of the 6th verse of Sri Madhurashtakam. Moving on to text 7. गोपी मधुरा लीला मधुरा युक्तं मधुरं भुक्तं मधुरं हृष्टं मधुरं शिष्टं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्. His gopis, the cowherd girls, are sweet. His pastimes are sweet. His union is sweet. His food is sweet. His delight is sweet. His courtesy is sweet. Everything is sweet about the Emperor of Sweetness. So here in text 7, Sri Vallabhacharya is talking about he's glorifying the gopis of Krishna, that how sweet they are in their reciprocation with Krishna, what they say about Krishna, what they think about Krishna, how do they present themselves for the pleasure of Krishna. They are having no other desire other than just to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Their entire existence is meant for the pleasure of Krishna. They are just existing for the pleasure of Krishna. That is the position of the gopis. So when the gopis, when they are saying to Krishna in the 2nd verse of Sri Gopi Gita, the gopis are saying, Sharadudashaye sadhu jat साथ सरसी जोदरा श्रीमुषादृश सुरतनाथ ते अशुल्क दासिका वरदने घ्नतो नेहा किं वद. The gopis are saying that we are actually your sold out servants, O Krishna. We have got no existence other than being your servants. Ashulka dasika. Shulka actually means wages. Ashulka means without any wages. Means, and we are your servants, we are your dasi. The gopis are saying that Ashulka dasika, that we are your servants. That we are your maid servants, we are your servitors, but we don't take even any wages from you. Hare Krishna, is there some kind of a disturbance? Okay, let's continue. So, in this particular Hare Krishna. Okay.
I was just saying, sorry, ma'am.
No, that's okay. So that's why the gopis are glorified here, that how dedicated, there's nobody else that can be more dedicated than the gopis of, Braja. And even Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu has established this as a fact by saying that Gopi Bhartu Pada Kamalayor Dasa Dasa Dasana Das. That we should aspire to become the servant of the servant of the servant of the lotus feet of the gopis of Vrindavan. That should be the position that we should aspire for. So this is how the gopis are so dear to Krishna. The gopis don't exist for themselves. They only exist for Krishna. So one time Narad Muni, he came to Krishna and he said, "My dear Krishna, who do you think in the entire creation are your best devotees?" So then Krishna said, "Well, interesting question. Let's find out. You go to different categories of devotees and go tell them that I have a headache, that Krishna has a headache. So you tell that, the way that my headache is going to get cured is that if those devotees will give me the dust of their lotus feet, and if I put that on my forehead, then my forehead, the pain, my headache is going to go away. So, my dear Narada, will you relieve me from my headache?" Narada said, "Vishnu, Vishnu, Narayan, Narayan, no, 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 no. Krishna, what are you saying? How do you think I can give you the dust of my feet? I'm going to go to hell. How can you even ask that, my dear Krishna?" So then Krishna said, "Well, okay, but I do have a headache. So now help me. Go to my different devotees and ask them." So then Narad Muni, rushed down. He came to the Himalayas and he saw the yogis and the rishis. They were doing tapasya and they said, "Hey Yogeshwar, hey Krishna, yogis, ye Mahatmas, please, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has a headache." And the yogi said, "Really, Narada, he has a headache?" He said, "Yes, yes, yes." He said, "So, what is the cure? How can we cure the headache?" And then Narad Muni said, "Well, Krishna said that, if he gets the dust of the lotus feet of the devotees, then Krishna's headache will get cured." And then the yogi said, "Vishnu, Vishnu, 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 how can we do this? No, 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 no. Are you mad? We are here doing tapasya so that the Lord will put his lotus feet on our head. And what are you asking us to do? Offense, offense. No, 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 no. Go away from here. Go away. You're trying to test us." So then Narad Muni left from the Himalayas. Then he came to some other group of devotees and he said, "Please, can you give something?" He went to the Devatas, he went to every place. But nobody was, everyone, how can we give our feet dust to the Supreme Personality of God? And we cannot do that. So then finally Narad Muni came to Vrindavan and he came to the Braja Gopis. And he said the Brajagopis were just, simple cowherd girls. They were just, doing their household activities. They were, milking, some were milking the cow, some were taking care of their children, some were, cooking, doing all kinds of household activities these gopis were doing. Narad Muni came there and he said, my dear devotees of Krishna, my dear Brajabadhus, please, I have something to share with you. They all said, Narada, welcome. What can I do for you? Please tell us, what can we do for you? He said, your beloved Lord Krishna, he has a headache. And the gopis said, he has a headache. What happened? How can that get cured? So then Narad said, well, Krishna said that if he can get the dust of the lotus feet of his devotees, then his headache will get cured. So then the gopis, ran from there, and Narad Muni was like, even the gopis ran away. What am I going to do now? So the gopis ran. They ran to a place where there was, an area filled with so much of dust. And they just started rolling in that dust. And they were, sinking their feet in the dust. And they called Narad Muni, come here, come here. And, they started, wiping out the dust from their lotus feet. And they said, collect it in your, Uttariya, collect it in your Angavastra. And they started pouring in all the dust from their lotus feet. And they said, immediately go to Krishna and give this to him. Put it on his forehead. We want Krishna's headache to go away. So please put this on his forehead. And Narad Muni, he was holding his Angavastra like this. The gopis are standing one by one and they're pouring their lotus feet dust. And Narad Muni was shocked. And he was saying, my dear gopis, are you not scared that your lotus feet dust is going on the head of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? That where will you all go? And the gopis said, we don't care where we go. As long as Krishna's headache is cured, we don't even bother about where we are going to be. Krishna is going to be happy, right? That's our lookout. So we don't want to bother about anything else. You just go quickly and give this to Krishna. This is the mood of the gopis. So this is the reason why Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Krishna himself, has declared that Gopi Bhartu Padakamalayur Dasa 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 Nadas, that we must aspire to become the servant of the servant of the servant of the lotus feet of such gopis of Vrindavan, such exalted position of the gopis. So that's why here in this 7th verse, the Sri Vallabhacharya is glorifying the gopis. Leela Madhura. So these are the different, beautiful leelas, beautiful pastimes, sweet pastimes that Krishna has with the gopis. One time, Krishna came a little late to meet with the gopis and with Srimati Radharani. And Lalita Sakhi, she is the eldest of all the gopis. She is elder than even Krishna. So she's the only one who has the power to chastise Krishna. And she said, Krishna, why are you late today? What happened to you? And today we are not going to leave you so easily. You have to tell us why you came so late. So then Krishna said, he was wanting to explain. The more he's wanting to he's even trying to say the reason, the other gopis are starting, why did you come late, O Krishna? Krishna said, well, I came late. Oh, Krishna, why did you come late? The other gopis are shouting. So Krishna is not even getting a time to give any explanation. The gopis were not even giving any time to Krishna to explain why he came late. And then Srimati Radharani was sitting with her head low like this, and she was crying because Krishna came so late. So then she was crying, and then, Krishna noticed that Radharani was not even looking at him. And then Krishna, he just looked at Srimati Radharani and he said, Radhe, he called out. As soon as he said Radhe, Srimati Radharani looked straight into the eyes of Krishna. And as soon as Srimati Radharani's eyes fell on the lotus eyes of Krishna and their eyes locked in that way, Krishna immediately froze. It was like London statue. He just froze because that is the power of the love and the loving vision of Srimati Radharani, that Krishna just couldn't move. He just became a statue. And as soon as he became a statue, the gopis, they just took him next to a tree, and Srimati Radharani, she just pulled down a golden vine from the tree and she bound him up. And she said, Krishna, today you have done such a grave mistake that you came late. You made me wait so much for you. This is not fair. Every time you are like this. How much are we going to wait for you? Every day you have some excuse or the other. Today we'll not listen to anything. So like this, Srimati Radharani tied up Krishna with a golden vine. And then, Radharani was saying, Krishna, and Krishna was like frozen. He was in a statue form. So Radharani easily could bind Krishna in this way. And then Radharani came to Krishna and said, touched him and said, why are you not saying why you came late? Say something. Then as soon as Krishna received the touch of Srimati Radharani, immediately his, statue was over. And then Krishna said, oh, thank you, Radhe, for putting life back into me. Well, I'm trying to tell you the reason. Today was the day of Diwali. And Mother Jashoda was, wanting to do some puja, and she wanted me to do so many things in the house. And I had to wait, and she had to feed me this huge feast. And after finishing all of that, after taking care of all of that, I came running as fast as I could. And when Krishna gave this explanation, Srimati Radharani started feeling very guilty that, Krishna was busy because of Mother Jashoda. So then Radharani felt very guilty and said, I'm so sorry, Kana, so sorry. And she immediately unbound Krishna and they continued their sweet pastimes. So this is such a sweet nectarian pastime that Krishna had with the gopis and Srimati Radharani. That, Mother Jashoda, when she bound baby Krishna in the Damodar Leela, at that time, Krishna had all that two fingers difference, and the rope would not tie. Mother Jashoda had to get all the rope of Gokul together to tie up Krishna. And ultimately, somehow after an entire, afternoon of fatigue, then Mother Jashoda was finally, Krishna allowed himself to be bound by the love of Mother Jashoda. But with Radharani, Krishna couldn't do all of that. Because he was so frozen, he had become a statue. As soon as Srimati Radharani looked, he just froze. And so therefore that two fingers and this and that, all that was gone, and Radharani bound him up in minutes. That was the level of love of Srimati Radharani. How intimate that love is. It's not that, Radharani's level of love was higher than that of Mother Jashoda. No. But it was more intimate than that of Mother Jashoda. Madhurya Ras is more intimate than Vatsalya Ras. So therefore, Srimati Radharani bound Krishna up in no time, just within minutes. Radharani was able to bind Krishna. And that is why we glorify in the month of Kartik, which is coming, we sing Jai Jai Radha Damodar, Shri Shri Jai Jai Radha Dam. We sing Jai Jai Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Radhe. Srila Jiv Goswamir Prana Dhana hai. Jai Jai Radha Damodara Jiv Goswamir Prana Dhana hai. Jai Jai Radha Damodara Radhe. So we glorify Shri Shri Radha Damodar, because even Srimati Radharani actually bound Krishna in this Kartik month. When Krishna was elderly in his Kishore Leela, Kaishora Leela, at that time, Mother Jashoda bound baby Krishna when Krishna was 3 years in his, Balya Leela. And then in his Kishore Leela, Srimati Radharani bound him again. And that's why we glorify by saying Shri Shri Radha Damodar, like this. So here, so Gopi Madhura, Leela Madhura, such sweet Leelas of the gopis with Krishna. Yuktam madhuram means their union is also very, very madhura. When Krishna comes to meet with the gopis are just, it's like as if life has come into them. The union, the yuktam of the gopis are so sweet with Krishna, so madhura. And when Krishna comes to meet with the gopis, the first thing that the gopis do is that they relieve the fatigue of Krishna by offering such beautiful nectarian foodstuff. Not just foodstuff, but also, different kinds of drinks, different kinds of, refreshments are offered. It is said that Srimati Radharani does not make less than 8 different kinds of drinks every time for Krishna. Refreshing drinks. And she puts them in special earthen little pots so that it is nice, cool, and fresh. Then Srimati Radharani, for the refreshments of Krishna, for the bhukta of Krishna, for the foodstuffs, what she does is that she takes this, palm, the palm fruit. The palm fruit is, very nice. It's transparent. It's very juicy fruit. So the palm, fruit is shaped almost like a heart. It's round, but it is shaped like a heart, like that. A heart on both sides, rather, like that. So that's how a palm fruit is shaped originally. But what Srimati Radharani does is that to make it more artistic, she actually engraves, on the palm fruit, she engraves sometimes like, the shape of a conch shell, the shape of a peacock feather, different kinds of intricate designs Srimati Radharani engraves on that palm fruit. And and she places it in beautiful green lotus leaves. So delicately she places these beautiful palm fruits. And Krishna comes and he's so pleased just by seeing this beautiful arrangement that Srimati Radharani has personally made for Krishna. And he enjoys the refreshments and all the foodstuffs that the gopis and Srimati Radharani have made for Krishna. And these are the delights that, Krishna enjoys in the association of the gopis. And by this, everything, all of their pastimes keep enhancing more and more sweetness. They just brew more and more sweetness, so much sweetness. So therefore their entire Leela becomes so sweet. The final verse of Sri Madhurashtakam is गोपा मधुरा गावो मधुरा यष्टिर्मधुरा सृष्टिर्मधुरा दलितं मधुरं फलितं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरम्. His gopas are sweet. His cows are sweet. His staff is sweet. His creation is sweet. His trampling is sweet. His fruitfulness is sweet. Everything is sweet about the emperor of sweetness. So Gopa, the cowherd boys of Krishna. Now the cowherd boys of Krishna, they have a very, very, very special relationship with Krishna. There are especially, the 8 celebrated cowherd boys who are extremely dear to Krishna. Just like how there are 8 principal gopis, there are also 8 principal cowherd boys who are extremely dear to Krishna. And they are like Krishna's confidants. They are the keeper of Krishna's secrets. So when Krishna goes out in the during the mid-morning time, when Krishna goes out to meet with the gopis, he sneaks out to meet with the gopis at Radha Kund. At that time, these 8 boys, the Ashtasakhas, they actually make the other sakhas very, very busy in their play and taking care of the cows and the calves so that they don't miss Krishna. Nobody knows, except for a few cowherd boys, that where Krishna has gone. So like that one time, similarly, what happened is that one of the famous, the celebrated 8 boyfriends of Krishna, one among them is the brother of Srimati Radharani, who is Sudama. And Sudama, his features are so much like that of Srimati Radharani that he looks, it's like Srimati Radharani as a boy is Sudama. They're so unique. They're so equal in looking. So then one day Krishna was waiting for Srimati Radharani to come, but he got a message from the gopis that Srimati Radharani is actually, under house arrest by Jatila and Kutila, who are the mother-in-law and the sister-in-law of Srimati Radharani, that they have put Radharani under house arrest, that she's not allowed to go out anywhere. So Krishna, sorry, Radharani can't come today. So then Krishna called Sridham. He said, come here. You look like Srimati Radharani. What's here? You come here. And Krishna whispered something in Sridhama's ears. And when he whispered and Sridhama was laughing, he said, yes, 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 we'll do that. And then Sridhama just picked up a little calf. He picked up a little calf and he clasped it to his chest. And then he came to the house of Javat, came to the village of Javat, which is the in-laws place of Srimati Radharani. And then right outside Radharani's home, Sridhama, he just left that little calf. And that little calf was so trained that Sridhama whispered in that calf's ears, you have to go straight to Sri Radhe's room and go over there. The calf nodded. And then, Sridham left the calf and the calf ran inside. And when the calf was running inside, Jatila and Kutila, like doorkeepers, were sitting at the door. And then they said, hey, what is this calf going inside? Hey, Sridham, come and take your calf away. Then, Sridhama came. Oh, sorry, Jatila Devi, Kutila Devi. How are you doing today? Yes, yes, look at this calf. It's got very naughty, very, very naughty. So now I'll go and bring that calf out. You don't worry. So then they said, yes, yes, go bring that calf out. Radhe is inside. We don't want her to come out today. So that's why we are guarding the door. And then Sridham said, good for you. You keep Radharani inside. I'll go and bring the calf out. So Jatila Kutila sat outside and Sridham went inside. And as soon as he came inside, Sri Radhe was sitting and she was crying in separation from Krishna. And Sridhama came and he said, my dear Radhe, why are you crying? Look what Krishna has arranged. Krishna has arranged for a way for you to meet with him. So what you do is you wear my clothes of a cowherd boy. And I'll wear your clothes of the cowherd girl. And I will stay back here as you. And you go out as me. And then Radharani said, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Very good idea. I can do that. But, Sridham, what about my chest? I have, I look like you, no doubt. But I have breasts. And how can I cover my breasts? He said, don't worry about that. Don't worry. There is a way for that. You see that calf? You just take that calf and clasp it to your chest. And that way you run out. So they'll not know. Jatila Kutila will not even notice. So Radharani, she just took on, she covered her long, black hair. She put up in a top knot and then she tied a nice turban on the top, and then she wore on the dhoti of Sridhama, she wore on the kurta of Sridhama, and then Sridhama wore on the, the lehenga choli of Srimati Radharani, and then, Sridhama said, well, I'll just pretend to sleep over here, and you go and meet with Krishna. He's waiting for you. You go. So then Radharani took the calf and clasped the calf to her chest, and she ran out and she said, oh, the Jatila Kutila said, oh, you got the calf. So what is Radhe doing? So then, Radharani didn't open her mouth, because if she opened, then her sweet voice would give her away. So then, Srimati Radharani just motioned like this and said that, Radharani is sleeping. Said, oh, okay, let her sleep. Don't disturb her. You go, Sridhama, go from here. So then Radharani just took the, clasping the calf to her chest. She ran into the forest to meet with Krishna. And then she came in front of Krishna, and then they enjoyed their beautiful nectarian pastimes. So in this way, the Gopas are so much always looking for opportunities to unite the divine couple. Gopa Madhura, Gavo Madhura. Krishna is the servant of the cows. He actually calls himself to be Trinacharanuga. We call ourselves Srila Prabhupada Nuga. We call ourselves Rupa Nuga, the followers of Rupa Goswami, followers of Srila Prabhupada. But here, Krishna, he famously proclaims to the entire world that he is Trinacharanuga, that he is the follower of the cows and the grass-eating animals. Trinacharanuga. This is also said in the Gopi Gita. Pranatadehinam papakarsanam trinacharanugam sriniketanam phaniphanarpitam te padambujam Krinukucheshuna Krindhirichayam. So Krishna, Krishna's lotus feet are the abode of Lakshmi Devi, Sri Niketana. And the abode of Lakshmi Devi is following who? It's following the grass-eating animals. Trinacharanugas. So Krishna, he loves the cows. He is, we know how dear the cows are to Krishna. There's, this one very beautiful pastime which always stands out, that Indra, when he committed the grievous offense of, doubting the supremacy of Krishna, at that time, when he flooded with Samvartaka clouds, the Pralaya clouds, he just poured in torrential rains and he flooded Vrindavan. And at that time, Krishna lifted Giriraj Govardhan. And as an umbrella, Govardhan gave shelter. Shri Giriraj gave shelter to all the Brajbasis. For 7 days and 7 nights, Krishna held up Giriraj on his little pinky of his left hand. And at the end of the 7 days and 7 nights, that's when Indra realized, oh wow, this cannot be done by any ordinary person. This must be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What an offense have I committed? How can I even go in front of Krishna? With what face can I go in front of Krishna? So Indra was, really feeling very, very guilty. So then he approached Mother Surabhi, the cow. And he said, my dear Mother Surabhi, I have committed this grievous offense towards Krishna. And I don't have any face to go in front of him, even to beg for forgiveness. So I'm begging you that please you recommend me to Krishna. Only if you tell Krishna, then Krishna will have his mercy upon me. Otherwise, I have no hope. So Mother Surabhi was so merciful. She's mother. So she said, yes, Indra, please come along. And then she came with Indra to Krishna, and then she said, my dear Krishna, Indra is really regretting. Please cast your, mercy upon him. Please shower your mercy upon him. Krishna, who was so angry at Indra, because Indra had not only troubled Krishna, but Indra had troubled his dear devotees also. But because Indra sought shelter of Mother Surabhi, who is so dear to Krishna, Krishna immediately, without any question, he did not even say anything other than just agree that yes, he will forgive Indra. So Krishna immediately forgave Indra. Immediately forgave him. So this is how dear the devotees are to Krishna, and especially Mother Cow. How the cows are so dear to Krishna. That is why we say this mantra, Namo Brahmana Devaya, Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. Jagadhitaya Shri Krishnaya, Govindaya Namo Namaha. That Krishna is the well-wisher of the cows and the Brahmanas. Go Brahmana hitayacha, the beneficiary of the cows and the brahmanas. So the cows are extremely dear to Krishna, extremely dear to Krishna. And Yashti Madhura. Yashti means the staff of Krishna. The staff of Krishna is very dear also. It's very, very sweet. And it's very dear to Krishna because Krishna uses that staff. It's a cow herding staff. So he doesn't use to beat the cows. Never does Krishna beat the cows. But he actually uses it for protecting the cows. He brings them back into the the groove, and then he takes away unwanted people from the demons attacking the cows. He takes care of them through the staff sometime. So like this, the staff, the stick of Krishna, is very, very sweet also, does very miraculous and sweet pastimes. The staff, actually, everything in the spiritual world is living. We all know that. So one time, if you ever see the picture of Krishna and Balaram, Balaram is standing like this, yes, and then Krishna, he's also standing like this, and Balaram stands, with one hand with his plow, and then one hand he's having on his waist, and Krishna, he is having his hand on Balaram's. Balaram has his hand on Krishna's shoulder. So Balaram was one time saying to Krishna that, my dear Krishna, I am Balaram. I am more stronger than you. And Krishna said, yeah, right, Dauji. You are actually not strong because you are standing on my support. You are the one who is putting your hand on my shoulder. So therefore, I am bearing your weight. So then Balaram said, point, correct. You are bearing my weight. So then the staff of Krishna, the stick of Krishna, he said, excuse me, I have something to say. And then Krishna said, yes, my dear staff, what do you have to say? He said, look, Balaram, he is definitely strong, but you are bearing the weight of Balaram because Balaram is standing leaning against you. But both of you, your weight is actually coming on me. Look, I am the one because Krishna, he is holding in his left hand and he is leaning on the stick, on the staff. So the staff is saying, you both are actually leaning on me. So therefore, I am the most strongest. And then Krishna just laughed and he said, yes, my dear staff, you're very dear to me. So therefore, yes, you are the one who is so strong and you're strongly protecting us. So like this, Krishna reciprocated with his staff. So that's why we see, whenever we see that, Krishna has the staff. So Krishna is resting his hand on the staff, on the stick. So, the staff plays a very important role in making Krishna stand without any fatigue, like that. Very, very sweet. The staff of Krishna is very sweet. Shrishti Madhura, the creation of Krishna, is extremely sweet. Dalitam, the trampling of Krishna, is very sweet. Phalitam, the fruitfulness. Now, Dalitam, how can Dalitam, why is Dalitam stressed here in the last? Dalitam and Phalitam. This is in connection to Mother Earth. Because here we are talking about the creation. So it's talking about Mother Earth. Now, when we have to, grow anything in the fields, how do farmers grow anything? They actually plow the fields, right? Either with their feet, they trample upon it, or they use, bulls and they use a plow and they plow the fields. And when they plow the fields, the field, the bhumi, the Mother Earth becomes fertile. And then when seeds are sown in, then there is proper fruits. So Dalitam results in Phalitam. So this is not just true in connection to Mother Earth, but it is also true in connection to our hearts as well. So when we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it is like plowing the hard core of our heart to make it fertile. And when we make it fertile, when the Bhakti Lata Bij is sown in a fertile land after it is being plowed, then we can bear the fruit of Krishna Prema on the Bhakti Lata Kripa. So this is the way that we understand Dalitam to be sweet and Phalitam to be also sweet in these two connections. The connection of the Mother Earth and connection of our own hearts also, so that when our heart is fertile by the trampling of, when our heart is trampled upon by the lotus feet of Krishna, by the holy names, when our heart is trampled upon like that, then all the negativities of lust, pride, greed, envy, anger, everything is gone away. Then the Bhakti Lata Bij fructifies and it grows into a beautiful creeper. And then the fruit, the Phalitam, is the pure love of Krishna. Krishna Prem is the pure love. That is what Vallabhacharya is concluding with, that Phalitam, that when we are in our pure state of Krishna consciousness, when the Dalitam has happened very nicely, when the plowing, the trampling has happened very nicely, then there will be Phalitam. Then we will be able to relish the nectar of Krishna Prem. We'll be able to enjoy the fruit of Krishna Prem, and we'll be able to not only enjoy ourselves the fruit of Krishna Prem, but we will also be able to share it with others. Make others also taste this fruit of Krishna Prem. This is what is the conclusion of Sri Madhurashtakam. Jai Shri Shri Vallabhacharya ki Jai. So we will end here. Today this entire series of Madhurashtakam ends here. And I'd like to end with one particular note, that this entire series, these 5 sessions of Madhurashtakam that we did, it is talking about the emperor of sweetness. That when Krishna, who is the emperor of sweetness, when Dalitam and Phalitam, when it happens, then the emperor of sweetness will come and reside in the region of our heart. He will choose to make our heart his permanent residence. And this emperor of sweetness, Krishna, he is the emperor of sweetness. And one very sweet meditation that I want to leave all of us with is this, that Krishna is called as 24 and a half moons. 24 and a half moons, how? That Krishna's 10 toenails are 10 moons. Krishna's 10 fingernails are 10 moons. So 10 plus 10 is 20. Then Krishna's entire lotus face is 1 moon. Krishna's 2 cheeks is 2 moons. That's 23. The chin of Krishna is round like 1 moon. So that's 4. And the half is the forehead of Krishna and the tilak in between, which is shaped like a half moon, Krishna's forehead. So that is 24 and a half moons. So this is how we can meditate on this emperor of sweetness. This Krishna who is Share Chobbish Chandra, means who is 24 and a half moons. We can meditate on him being the emperor of sweetness and beg Krishna to come and reside in our heart, so that we can never, never, ever have to let him go, and he can always stay in our heart. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. If there's any questions, comments, or reflections, we can take that now. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Very, very beautiful class, Mataji. Mataji, I have a question.
Yes.
Mataji, you are telling 8 Ashtasakas, right? What are the names, Mataji?
What? What are the names of what?
8 Ashtasakas.
Ashtasakhas. Yes. I'll have to look it up. But give me 1 minute. I don't remember them by heart. Um, but it's Sridam, Sudam, Madhumangal. Hmm. I'll have to look it up. I don't have it. Uh,
Sure, Mataji, no problem.
yeah,
I get back with
I'll
that.
have to look it up. I don't remember all of them.
Thank you, Mataji, for the beautiful class. Hare Krishna, is there anybody having any questions for Mataji? Mataji, I have another question, Mataji, not related to the topic.
Yes.
But I want to ask. Mataji, now Damodar month is coming, so can you tell me how to do Abhishya, Mataji?
Sure. You know, very good question. So, the first thing that we need to understand when we do any kind of tapasya for Damodar month, Kartik month, we must be careful that we must do everything which is said in the Shastra and not do anything concocted. Like sometimes, some devotees say, well, I want to lose some weight. So, therefore, this entire month I will drink only milk and I'll have only fruits. And that's what I will do. Well, that's not correct. That, oh, I'll do only fruits and I will take only Ekadashi Prasad this entire month. That is not correct. That is not what is mentioned in the Hari Bhakti Vilas. So therefore, we must be very careful because there is something called as Niyamagraha. Rupa Goswami explains that there is Niyama Agraha and Niyama Agraha also. That when we follow rules and regulations out of our mental concoction, and when we neglect to follow any rules and regulations, that is also, these two situations are also very dangerous. That we must actually have a proper balance of following the rules and regulations as it is mentioned in the Shastra. So, the first thing that is mentioned is that in Kartik month, that we should try to eat once a day, and once a day we should eat grain which is comprising of basmati rice, white basmati rice, and yellow moong dal or green moong dal, either of these two. It is made into a khichdi. You can either choose to make it into a khichdi by using any kind of squashes, any kind of root can be used, and any kind of squashes can be used. Even raw banana, raw papayas can be used. And you can make, you all you do is you take rice and you take dal. Equal proportions is also okay, and then you just add all the vegetables in, and then you just cook it. Put water and you just allow to boil and let it boil, and then you just add some ginger. You can eat because it is a root, so you just grate some ginger, you can add that in. You're allowed to even take leaves like curry leaves, mint leaves, cilantro, all that is allowed. So you can just throw in some curry patta, but no oil. You just are directly putting it for boiling like that. That is havishya. That you just make this one khichdi. You can even put some peanuts in it. You can have yogurt. You can make like raita, but don't put any kind of masalas into it. No cumin, no jeera, no mustard seeds, none of those masalas, none of the spices. But when the khichdi is cooked, at that time you can add little salt and you can add ghee. That is allowed. That you can just add the ghee, no putting like a tadka, no chancing it. So you can just add the ghee, you can add the salt, and then offer it to Krishna and have it along with some raita. You can make like raita with cucumber and tomato. You can have that raita. So this is one time, once a day, you're allowed to have this Havishya rice. Some devotees, because of health reasons, they can even choose to have it twice a day, like in the afternoon, like in the morning, and like at 9 o'clock in the morning, and at 4 o'clock in the evening. Before sundown, you should eat all your grains. Krishna Chaitanya, excuse me. And but sometimes devotees who can stay hungry, hungry in the sense who can do this, for them it's nice if they can just eat once a day. and then this Havishya Khichdi, and then the rest of the time they can just take, fruits, milk, all of that, or even just Ekadashi Prasad. That is also perfectly fine. But eating twice a day Havishya is also no problem. But make sure that you're eating before sundown, before sunset. That is Havishya. And some devotees also make a variety in this, like they cook the rice separately, then they make the dal separately, like a boiled dal completely. They just boil the dal, add some ginger into it, kari patta into it, and some ghee and salt. Just boil it with this. So there's rice, there's this dal, and then you can make a sabji also. You can add paneer in your sabji. Paneer is allowed. No tofu, but paneer is okay. And you can make the sabji also separately, all boiled sabji, everything. You just put all the vegetables in the water, let it boil. You can add some fresh blended tomatoes, add that into it, and then ginger and kari patta, salt, ghee. You can add that. So you can just have some variety in this way, that you're still eating boiled food with no masalas, no chonsing, but just some ghee, and but you're having some variety other than khichdi. So you can have this boiled rice, boiled dal, and boiled sabji also. That is also allowed. One very nice item that I also make is with any kind of squash you can take, especially lauki. Just cut up the lauki and boil it in plain water, and then just take some yogurt and beat up the yogurt with a little bit of quinoa flour or rajgira atta. Just beat it up with that, and then add that once the lauki is soft. Add that into the lauki and put some kari patta, some ginger, and salt. So that particular sabji is also very nice. It's a nice, the sour taste of the yogurt comes. So, it goes very well with khichdi, and even any kind of other, like rice and boiled sabji like that. So this is how we do Havishya.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much. Mataji, can we use pepper?
Yes, black pepper is allowed. Black pepper is allowed. Salt is okay. Salt, better to use pink Himalayan salt, or salt in its raw form is best. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. So rest of the day, what we can eat all kind of fruits, Mataji?
Yes, you can eat any kind of fruits for the rest of the day. You can take milk, you can take yogurt, you can, take anything. And sometimes if devotees, like I was saying, sometimes if devotees are not able to, stay hungry too long, they are allowed to even take twice. You can take Havishya, like at 9 o'clock in the morning and then again at 4 o'clock in the evening. That's also allowed. No problem.
Mataji, when we drink milk, can we add sugar into that, Mataji?
Yes, no problem.
Okay, thank you so much, Mataji, for detailed explanation. Can you also explain about Bhishma Panchaka, Mataji?
Yes, Bhishma Panchaka is the last 5 days of Kartik. From the Ekadashi till the last day of Kartik is Bhishma Panchaka. Now, in Bhishma Panchaka, there are 3 different levels of fasting. The topmost level is to do Panchagavya. Panchagavya is not recommended to be done in any place other than the dhams, because you'll not be able to get any of the Panchagavya to actually do this particular fast. So, but if anybody is in the dham, then they can do Panchagavya fasting, which is that it's almost like Nirjala fasting basically. But in the afternoon every day, and each of the 5 days, that you are supposed to go into the Ganges, and before taking a bath in the Ganges, first day you take some milk, second day you'll take yogurt, third day you take ghee, fourth day you take cow urine, and the fifth day you take cow dung. Now the condition is that if you take 1 glass of milk the first day, then you have to take the other 4 items also in the same quantity. So that's why devotees generally just take 1 drop and put it in their mouth, and then they go and take bath in the Ganges. So it's almost equivalent to Nirjala fasting. You can drink water, but this Panchagavya is what is called as the first level of fasting. Then second level of fasting is that we take only fruits and roots. Um, Fruits, we cannot take anything which is bahubiji. Bahubiji means multi-seeded. We should not take anything which is multi-seeded. Um, there was a debate, recently that we can take one-seeded fruit, but if there's a debate, it's better to not go into it at all. So better to avoid one-seeded fruit and multi-seeded fruit. Multi-seeded fruit would be any kind of, like cantaloupe or honeydew melon or strawberry. These are things which are considered to be many-seeded fruits. One-seeded fruit is peach, then plum. All these are one-seeded fruits. So these are better to avoid them. So therefore, best to stick with apples, bananas, oranges, and you can have, jicama root, that is perfectly fine. You can have potatoes are perfectly fine, just baked potatoes. Devotees generally don't take salt who are doing the fruit and root fast. You're allowed to take nuts, dry fruits, any kinds of nut, any kind of dry fruits are perfectly fine. Coconut is perfectly fine, grated coconut. So you can take peanuts, boiled peanuts, and all that is perfectly fine. So that is the the fruits and roots fast. This is the second level. And the fruits and roots fast, you can take it twice or even thrice a day. There's no problem with that. And then the third level is the Havishya fasting, where you take one time only, you take Havishya. And Havishya, I already told you how to do that. And the rest of the time, you can take fruits and roots. The rest of the meals, you can take fruits and roots. And one time, you take Havishya. And then on the fifth day, after seeing the moon and after serving the devotees and giving it something in charity to the Vaishnavas, then we break our fast. We can eat regular prasad on the fifth day after seeing on the Kartik Purnima day. So this is the 5 days. And the 5 days, another thing that should be done is extra sadhana, extra japa, not just the 5 days, but the entire month of Kartik. We must try to do extra japa, extra sadhana. And especially the last 5 days, we offer on the personality of Krishna, we offer 5 different articles that are offered to 5 different limbs of Krishna's body. So the first day, we offer lotus flower at the lotus feet of Krishna on the day of Ekadashi. We start with the lotus flower at the lotus feet of Krishna. Then on the calf of Krishna, below the knee and between the ankle, the calf of Krishna, we offer bilva patra, bale leaves. We offer bilva patra on the calf of Krishna on the second day. Then on the third day, we offer aguru, or like fragrant oil at the lotus navel of Krishna. We offer oil at the lotus navel of Krishna on the third day. And then on the fourth day, we offer on the shoulder of Krishna, we offer Shweta Jaba. Shweta Jaba means white hibiscus. So white hibiscus flower is offered on the shoulder of Krishna. And then on the last day, on Kartik Purnima day, we offer Malati flower at the lotus head of Krishna. So like this, 5 different days, 5 different articles are offered on 5 different limbs of Krishna's body. And extra japa, extra sadhana. The entire month of Kartik is what is recommended. Giving in charity and giving opportunity to everybody, that we should offer lamp every day to Krishna. But Krishna and Damodar are more pleased when we offer this opportunity to others, to new people. So please make opportunity to do that. Go out into grocery stores, at least on weekends you can do that. Set up a small table and have picture of Yashoda, Damodar, and set up lamps, and every passerby can just come and offer a lamp and give them some prasadam. So like this, try and do as much as devotional service, make opportunities for the others to participate in devotional service in this month of Kartik. So I hope that answers your question, Vinaya.
Yes, Mataji. Mataji, I have one question. So last Grishma Panchaka is like 5 days. We can only be avoid the grain and I mean rice and moong dal that we are eating before. We can avoid and we can just be on the fruit and the potato, right?
Yeah.
That's also okay, right?
Yeah, potatoes are okay, sweet potato is okay, all that is okay. So even because Ekadashi, if you're doing the fruit and root fast, you should not break your fast on the Dwadashi. You should not eat grain on Dwadashi also. Because if you're doing the sankalpa for fruit and root, then for all the 5 days, you continue your fruit and root fast, and on the 5th day is when you take the grains. That's what is recommended.
Yeah, Mataji. Thank you so much. That's what I remembered last time. I said that. That's why I'm asking you, Mataji. Correct.
Okay. Any other questions?
Thank you, Mataji, for detailed explanation. Thank you so much, Mataji. It really helped me.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions? All right. If there's no more questions, shall we end the call, Vinaya?
Thank you, Mataji, for such a beautiful class. Again, if there are no more questions, we would like to end the call here by offering obeisances to Mataji and all the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। कलसुधा माताजी की जय।
Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
This session is no longer being recorded.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Bol. Hare Krishna.